been showing up a lot in the first phase.
You think it's too impulsive though after this
I think it might
here?
be. I think right now what they really need to fix isn't really the maybe the Ascension goal. I don't really like that much, but everything else, the coordination, the coordination of the team, and don't be gun shy. You know, just go for it. It's your debut. If you're gonna lose, might as well lose going guns blazing, than lose and just playing passive. But BTR are on blue side, so that's already something that's different. Flying Cloud as well.
This is the drafting phase for game number 2, presented to you by the official gaming phone Infinix.
Wow.
Fanny does get banned out though, but
By DEWA.
by DEWA instead.
Interesting. And also BIGETRON, they went for the same approach, right? Regardless it being Flying Cloud, regardless it being them being on the blue side, still Baksha and Hilda, so they do not want some crazy fast rotations. And this time they banned out the Valentina.
Yep.
So it's the Sora setup, right?
It's
The
the
one
Sora
you
setup.
mentioned from game number 1.
Yep. Sora first pick is I mean, BTR are literally just telling DEWA here, this is what we want. What do you want to trade it for? They ban out the Freya, so this should be the Sora first pick into what? DEWA? Did they go for the Eve? And the Leo more? No, did they go Eve here? Do they even want to go for Leo more? Is the question though, right? Do they want to flex the win again?
Jungler 3 here is good, no? For DEWA.
There you go, the Guinevere flex and Claude. Whoa! They're expecting BTR to go for the Eve here. Instantly going for Claude. Okay.
Technically it was banned, right? Game number 1.
Whoa! Now that's new. This is
Have
debut.
we? Yeah, exactly.
Lancelot isn't really the best choice to go for in the current meta, but BTR, they're feeling it, man. Maybe Niall's like, nah, I don't want to be on those immobile picks. I want to just go and flare it out. When the Guinevere's on the other side, it's very difficult.
Is it easier for Lancelot to dash out of Quinn's abilities?
Yep.
Do you think that's the only reason they go for that?
I think right now, that might be it. I think he might have just been annoyed about like the CC locks on him.
But honestly speaking, I think Lancelot would survive the second phase. Do they want to hide other cards here for side of BIGETRON?
That's true.
Seems like they will complete their first phase with the high loss, so it's quite balanced here, composition-wise.
All right. Still flex for the Guinevere. We're lacking a mid lane. Is that something they want to prioritize before we get into the second phase? Considering BTR hasn't picked it up?
Yeah. That's something that they can definitely still go for here. I'm just wondering.
Or you want jungle?
Exactly.
Is Fred good?
Into Lancelot is okay, right?
Yeah, if you want to just 50-50, you can do it.
Go for
Guinevere
neutral
picked up,
objectives.
but I think they want to utilize the Guinevere as a flex pick, no?
That's true.
So maybe just pick up a mid laner first.
The relentless flow of time's continuing.
Oh, Arla, never mind. They're just that confident in Kin. All right. It's only been picked up once, by the way. That was last game. And they go straight for it now in the first phase with the Guinevere. That is still flex, and it can still work whether it's in jungle or roam with the Arlet.
I mean, I thought maybe they would want to go for something like blue, considering the Hylos pick. I think it'll help them in the mid lane.
No, I don't think they really... The glue pick is great when you have more than just the Hylos to target, right? If there's a utility jungle as well, but if it's just the Hylos, the Lancelot gets so much value. We can just jump into your backline, and that will be very difficult for Octa. Great read on the Harith here after picking up the Lancelot. The usual suspect for a gold lane would be a magic damage dealer. Right now, BTR, they don't even have a mid laner, so next up could be the mid lane ban, and BTR ban out Uranus. So they might be looking to go for double fighters.
Yeah, they're sniffing this Arlet can. It can be flex, but after that performance from Kin, BIGETRON's not convinced as well.
For DEWA, what's it going to be next? With no Harith, a Harith ban already, they still try to read into the double fighters by banning it out, or to just go straight for the mid lane. Because if they ban one mid and they have red 4, they can snatch out another mid lane, put Rizza in a tough spot.
So they want to let go of the Eve anyway, right? Did they go for something like Zetian, Lilia, something that we see rise in popularity?
Yeah, the Lilia could be an option if you are anticipating the fighters in gold and XP double fighters. It could be really, really good. It's also very safe against the Lancelot, or much safer compared to the Eve, the Farsas even. So we'll see about that. Could it be last pick though if it is a Lilia? Because I don't think BTR want to go for the Lilia themselves. BTR's banned. Wait, I just realized. What did they ban? Uranus. There's an Arlet already.
That's the thing.
Is that
BIGETRON is not convinced that
I
this
mean,
Arlet
But where else is
Could
it
be
going? I just
jungle.
realized.
Win jungle, Arlet roam.
There's still
They're
gold.
sniffing
It's
that,
like
so they're
roam,
going
gold,
for-
jungle, XP flex.
Yeah, that's a very deep, like, that's a stretch for BTR by batting out Uranus now that I
It could be something that they know from Scrim.
This Theo Nile overthinking.
might be. Honestly, might be. The Grok gets banned out though. That is a good ban. Now that is possible, right? The flex of the Guinevere could be a Grok into a Guinevere Arlet. That is a nasty combo. Then you have the AoE of a Claude, and then the Zetian. Could be great. But right now for DEWA, I wonder what it's gonna be. Do they want to flex the Guinevere all the way to the end? If they do, then they go for the mid lane. Zetian, Farsa, Lilia. I'm not too big of a fan of the Farsa here. They have many more ways to die for BTR.
I go Lilia though.
But they still go for it, man. They are confident. 100% win rate on the Farsa, by the way, season 17. This is looking crazy. The lineup, 100% on Arlet, 100% on Farsa. BTR, what's the answer going to be now that you have the Farsa, the Arlet, Guinevere, and
Maybe that's why they banned YZ.
yeah, they don't want another dude flying over to the Farsa.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go Zetian here, but
Ooh.
I mean Zetian has that passive, right? If Guinevere jumps, there's a knockback.
Yeah, there's that, and there's also the Sora together with the Fear of the Phoenix, and they still go Yisun Shin. Now this game, I like the Yisun Shin a bit more. You're going to win in lane against the Claude compared to last game. Last game, it was just a tough matchup. It's a 50-50. It's not really worth to take the risk against a Freya. Because you get cooked, you're outscaled even, in my opinion.
So what's the last pick for DEWA? Any thoughts, boys?
Really depends on where this Guinevere is going,
They
man.
have enough AoE, they have enough lockdown, but
Maybe they need
more...
someone in the front line?
Yeah, they need more.
There you go.
Ah, so they still go glue.
Now this I don't really... It's Glue Roam.
Where's that glue?
So Gwyn jungle?
It is Glue Roam, it is Gwyn Jungle. Not too fond of the glue in the end here. But there's no other choice. Was there no other choice?
Grok was banned, Uranus was banned. Would you go
But you're-
would you stretch something like Minotaur?
Nah. Is this just a, like... I really wonder why. Like, jumping on Hylos? That's it? Because it doesn't look like he'll be... It's a Lancelot, right? Is it just pure zone? BTR 1 lineup rating last game, by the way, right? So, yeah. As Aldo says, this is irrelevant.
This is irrelevant. Think like Coach Aldo, ladies and gentlemen. But let's head over into the Land of Dawn for game number 2 between DEWA and BTR. Can DEWA close this 2-0? Or can the rookies from BTR come out on top? Let's head over. Straight in.
DEWA United looking for a clean, sweet victory. And BIGETRON looking to spoil the party. Clive already very aggressive here on the positioning, but just spread out info. Seemed like almost similar to game 1. We only saw 2 spells, being the Flicker and the Retribution. This time around, Finn brings out the Revitalize.
Yeah. That should be a take. Yep. Really good. BTR pick it up. And through the emblems I'm looking at, I'm glancing over. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Everything's pretty normal. The concussive blast choice once again for Lynch. Maybe this time, you know. Theonil's already given him the poke in the shoulder. That, hey, sir, you gotta go in. You gotta look for the throw. Zetian. Lane bully.
Oh, that damage, that range. That's why the Zetian is such a pain to really go against, especially in the early game, no matter what you're on. I think one of the only heroes that can kind of level that out, in my opinion, has
Well,
been... Oh!
Nile!
Okta!
Okta to use that Flicker. But that's going to be an immobilization on towards Nile. Not level 4 yet. Another poke, another damage, and that will be enough for Mueza to take Nile down.
That's what everybody calls on the internet, Gerakan Tambahan. Miracle, what do you think about that?
They baited out 2 flickers. It's still bad, though. Yeah, I agree. Oh!
That's going to be another set, and down goes Lynch. It was very equal 10 seconds ago. but DEWA United suddenly shift their gears.
Kin, calm down. No recalling, Kin.
Yeah, no flicker on Kin, so he has got to calculate this one now. Already level 4, looking to cause havoc. Oh no, Kin will be low, but Nolan finds the turtle. Kin will be taken down, but that's the only trade.
That tempo immediately changed real quick. We didn't get a chance to really unbox what Nile did there.
Yeah. He tried to go for the kill on Octa, baited out the flicker, sure, but then he got caught and he missed the skill. What? Hold on!
Doing it again.
Oh, not enough damage just yet from Nile to really cause trouble. But economy-wise, BIGETRON, they're leading.
Yeah. I wonder where they're leading from. I think it's the gold crab in the bottom lane for Clive that is really getting him, you know, the gold. Right now, again, yeah, it was a mistake for sure from Nile, but he tried to look for the kill on Octa. Moeza also flickered, and then we have Kin getting a kill up top. I'm still trying to like look at the moment because it was just a bit weird by Kin as well to just stay over against Nile. He got picked off in the end, and it became a trade that should have been fully in favor of DEWA to somewhat okay. In the end, it's still level on the board. Dolin's doing a good job, just constantly going in. But Clive should be winning more than this, man. Against the Claude, he's very hesitant to just go for the trades, it seems. And he doesn't get the gold crab even. It's maybe who picks it up.
The rookie jitters perhaps, right? And again, it's at an equilibrium. DEWA United swings the goal just a bit. In 30 seconds, we might see a big fight again from both. But that's going to be the Hunter Strike, finally secured by Clive.
Okay, item check. Steel leg plates rush. Again, this time from Moeza. Could be the chastised pauldron first item. VHS is going to be the first item for maybe here. Yeah, nothing too crazy again for both of the teams. It's really just the standard start to the game. Just let's see how they set up for turtle number 2 here. DEWA United only ahead by 450 gold. This can still be contested by BTR.
Riza already has going one, so I don't know if that's going to impact the game. Octa has also brought it up. Let's see.
Kin poked below 50% HP. That's going to be the Zichan using his ult! Oh my goodness, Lynch! Finally finding a set. Finally using the ult. Down goes Octa. That's going to be the recovery, though the repositioning. Nolan finds a trade, but maybe with the AoE blazing duet, Nile collects the kill and the turtle. Ladies and gentlemen, DEWA United this time round will not find the set to fruition, and that's the dive, that's the damage, and that's Riza picking up the killing spree.
Beautiful, beautiful. 5-3 now, 1,600 gold lead. Earlier the tempo was on DEWA's side, but Nile's movements have finally paid off. Lynch as well, with the fact that he was able to get that moment, that was huge for BTR and that momentum too.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not really like a big fan of the group pick, because especially when you go split, right? Nile gets so, oh my god, Octa. Okay, Nile gets so many more stacks on the puncture. He can stack up everything, and once you're fully stacked up, one Phantom Execution plus a Thorn Rose, Octa's dead. And you saw the built-up damage there from Nile in the fight, especially with War Axe. You stack that up while stacking up puncture.
Octa's definitely not having a great game. I mean, even disregarding that moment, wait a second, there it is!
Oh, that's a great pick-off coordination there. Maybe with the blazing duet and DEWA United finding a response.
Yeah, that's 2 ultimates though burnt out. They're gonna be able to try and zone out that bottom side of the map, but it looks like Finn is still there. Should be able to clear. Don't know if they still want to commit onto that. That's a lot of time in the bottom side for DEWA.
Again.
You know, they know Octa doesn't have the flicker, so they're trying to abuse that fact.
And it's Clive now in the bottom lane. Oh man, I don't think, oh, he's gonna get dove on. 4 guys rotating down below, but no minions. Good clear, good recovery for Finn, but Clive needs to go back straight up again, man. Turtle will spawn back up now. BTR are the ones with the lead. Lynch, in that fight, he was still late, man. He's been late constantly to the turtle fights. I think sometimes he just needs to give up on the wave. It's okay. If he showed up earlier, I think it would have been a similar result. Luckily, they still pulled it off, but Lynch needs to get used to the tempo of MPL.
Well, he's moving now.
Yep.
BIGETRON now trying to claim the turtle. Below 50% HP now. The turtle, oh, that's an opening! That's a feather ace right, Kin finds Nile! Dolan collects the turtle! And it's just like game 1. DEWA United finds the domino effect at Turtle 2. 2 members off the board for BIGETRON, and Lynch will fall as well as Kin finds the connection to take him down.
Kin's very low. Oh!
Oh!
It's just a free kill, man. No flicker for Kin. He tried to get close, but Rizzo was just spacing. BTR still keeping the lead at 300, but DEWA, that was a phenomenal fight, man. Great engage again. And they were just able to steamroll through, catching Nile, who's been recalling. Signature Nile recalls, but yeah, DEWA definitely got pissed off after that previous fight. And again, I gotta say, for Lynch, he just keeps on waiting for DEWA to engage first. On the Sora, I really think he should be the one to go in first. They have a Fury of the Phoenix as well to combo it, and it would give Nile so much more room to make those plays. But again, Lynch, he was waiting in the turtle. He was actually behind Nile instead of walking up forward. And again, in that skirmish, even though he rotated quicker than in Turtle 2, he was still later than Kin.
All right, so we are sensing some hesitation coming in from Lynch. Let's see, after this 8th minute point in this game, if anything changes. But again, I do agree. Man, DEWA is so clean with it. Oh, okay, still going to be able to get out of that. Kin unable to open up that engage. Dolan, I think, is looking for that moment. But in the end, DEWA have their eyes on the objective. That tower is going to fall in the hands of DEWA.
Now it's back to the waiting game. This is what we're going to see more of from DEWA, man. They're not a team that would just go for random fights. After they get an objective, they want to just go and chain it together, right? Once you get the turtle, they zone in, they group up together, cut the lane, and go for the structural objective down below, the turret, tier 1. And then they cut top as well, you saw earlier. Now it's Lord, and they're going to just do that again. It's just all about objectives for DEWA. Team fights, yes, but team fights for objectives, not random team fights across the map like we used to see from them.
Okay, but what are we waiting for? Are we waiting for sort of power spike?
For BTR?
For both.
For DEWA, we're waiting on maybe. He's not even online yet, but he's already 004. He's getting a lot of gold in his pockets, man. So once he gets the corrosion side, he's going to start doing some big damage. Riz is going to have to be careful, even Clive. And again, Clive should be the one ahead in this matchup against the Claude. You're not going to have as much consistent damage as a Claude later on in the game. You're going to get outscaled, man. You're going to have to try to like outskill him. And right now, it doesn't really look like he has the capacity to outskill maybe. Maybe he's looked really good this game.
And it looks like he's already involved as well in the setup for the next objective. The Lord Dance has begun. We saw an item being built up by Riza as well, that lightning going for a little bit more damage. That should help. The fact that the range is huge as well, if they're going to be able to set it up properly with Lynch, that might be a problem for DEWA. Let's see if that happens.
Finn now isolated in the front, looking for cover. Lynch, will it be enough now? The damage is not there. That's Baby popping the Blazing Duet. Is able to get out. Still 5v5, folks, as the Lord has already spawned in the land of Dawn, and both teams here looks for a reset.
Why doesn't the combo feel like it's hitting Miracle? Because we saw the Fury of the Phoenix, and then we saw Lynch follow up.
Yep.
But that combo just didn't hit properly. Why?
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be Lynch who goes in first. And
I see.
really, at this point, they were aware of it, right? They got caught by it once. The second time it could have landed, they just went in first. So when they saw that BTR had an angle to go in, they just started splitting up. That's why it was difficult for Lynch to go for even the flicker. He hesitated on the flicker because he knows he's not going to find more than 3 members, or even 3 at that point. Lore's taking a half.
Keep in mind, Octa, no flicker. BIGETRON, they must keep tabs on this, and that's going to be an opening. Feather Airstrike popped. Dolan now will be able to reposition. Both teams again looks for a reset.
Yeah, Octa utilizes the Feather Airstrike, so I think they want to look for a reset as well. Trying to push in that top lane first. Lynch still there on standby. I'm thinking about this bottom side of the map. It looks like they've sent Clive to handle it, but yes, the Swift Trinity picked up now.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just... Sending a Yusun down below is not a good idea.
Oh, they're going in here. That's going to be the pop alt here. Oh, Kin very low. Dolan still able to clutch that retry. Will be traded with Kin though. Now it's going to be a 4v5. BIGETRON, they want to close out the distance. Will they be able to do so as Lynch will be the one to fall? Weza survives. And down goes Finn. Dolan suddenly taken down, but maybe collects the double.
2-4-3 trade. DEWA pick up the Lord. Nile tried to go for the swift movements on the Lancelot, but unfortunately he got taken down. in response to that. Problem is now maybe still alive, so going through these turrets will be quite easy for DEWA.
Ooh.
As the feather airstrike opened up,
Yeah.
Riza taken to half health. Imagine that.
It just looks super messy for BTR, dude. They sent Clive into the bottom lane, but they want to fight, so Clive was late, couldn't
Yeah.
deal much damage, and he came in as the team was dead, right? Then after that, he couldn't go in. Nile was left alone.
Oh no, Lynch caught again. Ladies and gentlemen, DEWA United looks for a 2-0 in their sights. Definitely top base cert will be the first one to fall here out of the 3. And DEWA United playing it disciplinedly. Clive pops the Mountain Shocker, but down goes the mid turret. That's going to be BIGETRON focusing to take the Lord down. Feather airstrike is here. A spin taken very low. Glorious pathway forced to be used, maybe. With the wind of nature, looks for an opening. But they will defend their bottom base turret.
That's 2 inhibitors taken down though.
Yep, and it's the far lane.
Yeah, the Lord's gonna be spawning on the bottom side of the map, so again, if they... I mean, we saw in that previous escape as well that it didn't work out according to their plan as well. Clive sent to the bottom side, and now it's gonna be even worse because they don't have the inhibitors turret on the opposite side. Do they send Nile this time around?
Nah, I think at this point,
I think it's GG.
well, okay. I think it is. Firstly, I think it is. I really think the morale of these rookies is starting to waver here, especially for Lynch, man. He's been late on so many fights. It just feels bad, you know. I don't know, his debut up against Kin. I don't know if this is the best choice now that, you know, after seeing it. Letting the Clive debut against maybe. Letting Lynch debut against Kin. Possibly like the best individual XP laner in lane. Lynch got cooked in lane, and everyone else, Moeza, Octa, Dolan, everyone's doing just such a good job this game. Then the Wind of Nature is already done for maybe. He can do whatever he wants, man. The Melfic gun, very soon built up as well. Riza is promising, though. His positioning is great. The spacing is amazing. Great usage of skills. The itemization, I mean, it's just a classic build, but all right. I think for Clive and Lynch, they're just really too passive here. They're just way too passive.
If anything, it's a learning curve,
Yeah, for sure.
right?
For sure.
But yes, in this particular game, it is looking quite difficult for BTR to look for an opportunity, look for a comeback. Technically, there is still the combination that we were referring to before between the Sora as well as the Zetian. Can they look for that? Is that something that we can expect? I mean, you can see DEWA have adapted really well. They're not clumping up against one another. They're trying to prevent that combination from hitting. So it is not just BTR unable to look for these moments, but DEWA United are also figuring out ways to make sure that it doesn't happen.
The first 3 turtles and the first Lord, I'd say yes, they'll still have enough damage with that combo. Now, even if they get that combo, I don't think they'll have enough damage. I think DEWA have already built proper items to evade against it. 4,000 gold lead, Wind of Nature as well, right? So
Yep.
maybe he's not going to die. Dolan's tanky. Moeza's tanky. Kin's very sustainable. Octa, sure. Octa can still die, but he's not going to be caught in it. I don't think so. He's building towards a win a crown.
They're blitzing it.
Yeah, now show top earlier. Dolan will collect the Lord. My goodness, that's a stun. Oh, man! That's a set by BIGETRON.
Nope.
Will it be enough though? Maybe in the back, looking for a kill, but he will get shut down as Kin, tanky enough, collects a double.
Wait.
Clive.
Oh, in the mid lane, it's very messy, but Clive caught Finn, even with the immortality, trying to buy time for his team, as DEWA United will shuffle their damage on towards Finn. Down goes the horse, and Ken in the front lines looks for a kill on towards Lynch. Lynch trying to hold on, 10 seconds for Riza, but it will not be enough. Ladies and gentlemen, a sweet victory, a sweet debut for Dolan as they collect the 2-0 victory.
The Dark Horses of MPL ID Season 17 have done it on their debut match against BTR. Clean. Super clean. GG, Mirko.
Man, that was...
Your goats.
My goats. Still my goats.
goats?
My goats still. They're rookies, 100%. We have excuses. But no, that was a learning curve. It's a very tough lesson to learn. You're debuting against Kin, dude, right? Lynch, yeah, he's definitely got a lot to learn. Debuting against Kin, he got slapped in the face by a guy who was a contender for Rookie of the Season last season. And Clive as well, up against the guy who was complimented by Kelra, all right? It's Maybe, who's also went on his own arc of, growth from being a promising rookie to now being a guy that we're hyping up, a team that we think are going to be top 3 this season, a dark horse for sure. Could be a top 2 season for them because, man, Dolian's looking clean. He's smart. He's intelligent. On both Fanny, he was mechanically gifted. He was smart. But on the Guinevere, he played it clean. He just played it through the objectives. They were good. They were really, really good. I'm impressed by DEWA despite going up against, maybe a lot of people are like, okay, it's the rookies. But no, this is an impressive game. Seriously, though, a lot of things to take in for this game. Later on, we'll definitely have to break it down in the replay.
But wow.
I'm still processing, man.
Me too. No, I'm so happy for DEWA. I'm so happy for DEWA.
What a debut indeed, but unfortunately, like you said, Mirko, it seems like the rookies, especially.
Because there was also doubt surrounding this team.
Too passive indeed, but
But let's talk to them. Let's talk to DEWA United up on stage. Thank you so much, Bude Clara. Thank you so much, Sabil. And of course, congratulations once again to DEWA United for that first match 2-0 clean victory to open up the season.
gotta be honest with you, this team of DEWA United is low-key growing on me. They're so humble like myself, so I want to see them. I want to see their journey this season.
I didn't know you were a comedian. Now.
I wasn't being funny though.
Well, you should then, because you're pretty funny.
But yeah, you said you wanted to talk about a lot of things for BTR?
No, I was just yapping, because that's our
Oh.
job.
Oh.
No, but like, no,
Okay,
seriously.
skip it.
They got a good combo, bro. I still feel like they got a good combo. But unfortunately, they just didn't execute the plan well.
So let's just give over MVP.
Who's the MVP?
Presented to you by the official gaming phone in Phoenix. It's Mueza!
Well deserved.
Yep.
Very solid performance, especially game 2. I was also, like Mirko, doubted the glue pick.
Yeah.
But still, the Lancelot first phase doesn't sit right with me.
It really just seems like maybe now it's like, coach, you're letting me play with the MPL guys. Let me play whatever I want. It's like, okay, sure. This is just really weird. Yeah, I agree with you. The first phase Lance was already weird, but I think after seeing the game, maybe it's not that weird, Gani, because Lynch is very late to these turtle fights consistently. I thought game 1 could be jitters. Now game 2, it could still be jitters, but there's you need a when will be the improvement, right? Because you have Shogun as a competitor. If you don't show up quickly, you might not play again ever. Shogun in his first season was phenomenal, bro. He was Rookie of the Season. He's the guy who beat Kin to get Rookie of the Season.
Yep.
So, a very high bar, unfortunately for Lynch. That, unfortunately as well, he couldn't reach. But for Riza, I think this is pretty impressive, As a Zetian, he played it very safe, great positioning, great timing on the three of the Phoenixers as well, combos all throughout, but Clive, same thing, man. The side laners, just unfortunately, they are coming into MPL with ridiculous expectations. They have to replace Emman and Shogun. So already, that is something that is impossible in my eyes. I'm the BTR GOAT man here, right? So I know. Emman Shogun, they're too good at it, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Unfortunately, not in the first game. They won't be able to do it in the first game. Dolan, however, wow. I really just think he's smart with it, very smart, very mechanical, very calculated as well. And this is his first game. I definitely saw jitters in this game, but the fact that DEWA, like you mentioned, Gani, they're also humble. They already bonded together. Not you, DEWA. Gani tapped himself earlier and smiled, so I don't want to take that. But yeah, the whole team really supported Dolan, gave him enough space to do everything. Octa really improved so much, man. Remember when he was in RQ, his debut, playing Vexanas, and everybody was hating on him?
Yeah.
Man,
Look at him now.
look at DEWA now.
We even brought that up last season.
Yeah,
Right?
But I thought that was his limit. I thought, okay,
That peak.
he reached his peak.
Okay.
He's not gonna be better. And then this season, Octa is playing like this.
I really wanted to discuss Nile.
Okay.
I don't know. Nile, for me, feels like...
Overrated?
No.
Oh,
He's good, but
off,
I feel
but-
like there's like this young ego about him.
yeah.
And I thought that that ego was gone. But like the moves that he made early game, is it still there? Is it still lingering inside him? Like
I think it's still there. I think it's the reason he's kept in the lineup. I think actually,
it can be a good thing, but
Yeah.
it can also be a bad thing.
that's what you need to. That's what you want to have in the lineup when you have consistent players like Shogun, Moreno, and Man.
Right.
See, like when you have that lineup, you're like, okay, sure, do your thing, Niall. But then when you put them in this lineup and everybody's still, trying to find their rhythm in MPL, it looks glaring because that dive in mid, getting picked up by Muezza, getting punished by Muezza,
Yeah.
then you're like, oh man, that's such a standout, right? But usually it doesn't stand out as much because they're winning, because the whole team is able to support him in doing that, The carry, rich guy, maybe. He was very excited to go up against Kelra, and he's even more motivated to play this season because of Kelra. I like hearing that, and man, Kin, this guy's growing on me as well. He's already, up there as like one of my favorite XPs in Indo, but after that interview, he's starting to he can say something. He can say words, bro. He can be like, yeah, I'm bored of Arlet. I want to play Sora, I don't know why they gave me the Arlet. It's just a win for me. And like, Sabila was like, yo, you have an 85% win rate?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean, bro? Of course I do.
Yeah, I do.
I'm Kin, yo.